right? This was one of the things that I learned in this mod, is that through some battles, is that you really need to keep the cavalry in check. Cavalry per se is not as destructive as in Vanilla Empire, Total War or some other mods, but its effect on morale is just devastating. You need to always keep the enemy cavalry in check, because if they manage to get on your flank, you're done for, basically. So I was quite happy. This battle went very well, because I think I managed to destroy that cavalry. So my units are approaching that cavalry through the flanks and are going to open fire. You see that they are shaken just because they started to have a unit of my infantry on their flank. They haven't even engaged yet, and now they will start to fire anytime soon. Ah, there they go. They immediately make some casualties, and basically that cavalry is broken. And now all my infantry that had their muskets loaded ended up firing in their backs, which is quite a nice touch, I think. And remember that you see it's only about 5 models died, but you have to remember that each model actually represents 4 cavalrymen would be each model of a cavalryman. So you have to multiply the casualties, the 8 guys that died from this close range musketry, you have to multiply it by 4, sorry. So it's like they killed 40 horsemen out of a squadron of 120. Killing 40 horsemen is a lot. Really, if you take a look at the historical records of battles, that's more or less the number of casualties that, for instance, a failed square breaking attempt would cause, for you to have the idea of the insane amount of casualties that this would represent. Which is one of the best parts of this mod, is that morale is very much linked to casualties, so even a unit suffering low casualties can be completely shattered and lose any combat value. Now I'm redeploying the line in my right flank to receive that cavalry. At this point I think I decided also, yes, to send my 3-pounder to the middle of these two formations, so it could serve as its regimental gun, basically. Now I'm reorganizing my army, so infantry and cavalry are clashing and getting bundled up together. And they send their cuirassiers after mine. But here I counter-charge them with these cuirassiers and hold them in place until the backup arrives, which was under fire from Grenzas at a very long distance. And I'm taking Alsace to the other side. I thought it was time to, and a force of cuirassiers and a squadron of cuirassiers, to really hold this flank in place. It's amazing what apparently a small force can do to the choices your opponent has to make. It's great, really. I do love this mod. This is astonishing. Anyway, my cuirassiers got bundled with the grenadiers through stupidity, because I realized the AI changed target and was after my Jaegers, so I wanted to get them out of here. This battle, it was very easy for me to preserve my Jaegers, because I was always in some kind of protected position like woods or very near my infantry. They actually survived the whole battle and spent their entire ammunition, ending the battle with a gallant bayonet charge to an artillery 3-pounder gun. This was their second attempt to use cavalry to attack my guys, and again they were repulsed with heavy casualties. 2 more casualties, so 8 guys, and they broke just because they lost 8 guys basically, which is very good. And I was quite happy to spot this in time. It's amazing that even though it's a 1-to-1 time scale, one session begins, you have actually very little time to make some corrections. I think that mods that use a more constricted time scale, on one side a battle doesn't take 2 hours. On the other hand, I think many of my mistakes are easier to correct because the the gap to exploit them is that much smaller, so they don't make such a big deal. I've also decided, by the way, to send these two units, as I seen their show of force in these flanks, which is very little to none at the moment, and send these units to the center as well. My idea was to break through the center and hold this flank here. Then I could easily route whatever attacking force they mustered here and focus then on my left, because here I will only be attacked by part of one AI. In the left flank I will be attacked by both of them basically. Yeah, and their dragoons managed to what? No, they didn't manage to do anything. These Gracias were the ones that were attacking me, and they were routed without too much of a fuss. And reorganizing my cavalry again. Seems that half the things in this game you do is reorganizing cavalry after each attack, which is quite, well, realistic as well. Cavalry had to re-rally, reorganize, and then they could be effective for a proper charge. And moods had to be tempered as well. Now I stopped my cavalry obviously before going into the woods because of the aforementioned problems, and now the other AI is building quite a force in this flank, which I was aware that I had to take care of if I didn't want to lose this battle. So my infantry is deployed here in columns to be easier to maneuver and to go to some positions, and my grenadiers are in front. And I'm bringing my artillery still in the back. I'm bringing general to this flank to help in the line of sight. Because without flags, it's very easy to see units, very hard to see units in woods. It should be mandatory to play without flags. So, while we wait for something, a quick overview of my deployment so far. I think I took too much time to advance my center here, because I should keep my troops closer together, because they will... Distances are way further apart than people think. It's one of the things you have to get used to it here, because of the ground scale, basically. And another good thing is that this loose forest doesn't delay my units as much as these denser forests. So their Grenzes keep shooting at my cavalry. Much good will do them. I don't think they kill anyone actually. They just expended all their ammunition at very long range for nothing. Now I'm bringing my other cavalry here to better deal with their cuirassiers, because they were starting to charge. I allow them graciously to charge uphill for as long as they wanted.